these musts will make your conversations stronger and tighter and make the bond with the other person totally unbreakable for the future. Now, a couple of days ago, me and the boys that I'm really close with were on a call on this huge project that we're building behind the scenes that we're working on each and every single day. And it pretty much involves us to be on call pretty much our entire days. Don't ask us why, it's something very important. But sometimes during the day, mm, one of our other friends joins the call. Someone that really just wants to, have a chat with us and wants to just have a good time. And this time was no exception. But this time, I'm more active in the mornings. Like, after I record a video just like this, I just hop on, I talk to those guys for like an hour straight, and then I just go and do my own things whilst leaving my account on the call. But this time it was different. It was like 6 p.m. I was gonna go to sleep in like 2 hours, but I was doing something very interesting. I was reviewing an anime metaphysically. Yeah, the manifestation stuff has been really getting into me, but not just for the manifestation stuff, but also for the social intelligence, for some cool analogies that I could use in my videos that could really hit home for some people. You understand what I'm trying to say. And then one of those guys came in. I wouldn't say that he's one of my best friends, don't get me wrong. He's still one of my closest brothers and I love him. No homo. It is just that, yeah. He always has a really, really unique entry. He always screams something like, "Hey, what's up, everyone?" And yeah, he just brings such good energy into it. Now, I could have just ignored him because I was so immersed in reviewing that anime, but I just couldn't help myself. I just had that inner calling that was telling me to just answer him and to talk to him because I knew that this time something was gonna be different because he didn't have this entry of, "Hey guys," just yelling at the top of his lungs. No, this time it was different. He started he started the conversation with something like, "Yo boys, I got something to tell you." And I immediately knew that it was gonna be something serious. So I just turned on my microphone, even though I could have completely ignored him and just continued with my day. I decided to hear him out. And he basically went on to talk for like 10 minutes about his classmates and how he wished to save them from video games and stuff like that, but they just wouldn't listen. They call him, because he's a content creator, a masculine one, just like I am. And yeah, they call him toxic masculinity, even though he's just trying to help them at the end of the day. And then he said that he really enjoys watching their Minecraft live streams. And he even sent me the channel of one of them, and he was even live as we were talking about them. Now, of course, it wasn't like in a gossipy way, like we were saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, he hurt me like 5 years ago, and now the karmic retribution is coming back to him." No, not in that kind of way, of course. We were just talking from the point of view of men who actually want to help their brothers, if that makes sense. We're talking about stuff like the project that we're building, or any other huge income methods that could bring us so much money in the future, and how they are gonna miss out because they just weren't with us. We were talking about stuff like physical health and our mental health. And then lastly, we were talking about relationships, but not like women, of course, mainly just about brotherhood and stuff like that. Like, pretty self-explanatory since we are talking about his past classmates. I even told him some of my own stories from my own experiences with my past classmates from primary school. And yeah, he was on the call for like 20 minutes. And yeah, we just had a complete blast. Like, he even showed me, I already said this, but yeah, he even showed me one of the live streams of his classmates. Yeah. And he was playing Minecraft and he was building a house. Yeah. And all this time we were just saying to each other that meanwhile these guys are genuinely still behind. They are still playing Minecraft the entire day. We are getting so farther ahead that the difference between us and them is incomprehensible. And they cannot even understand the word incomprehensible. I'm serious about this. Like, Yeah, the stories that he told me and bro, the value exchange that we did in just those 30 minutes, he needed to go to the gym. So, yeah, he only stuck around for like 30 minutes. But man, those 30 minutes were something incredible. And I won't forgive them. Not, and I won't forget them, not forgive them for a long time because they were just something so unique. I just wasn't expecting this kind of conversation to happen. And yet, here it was. My the desired reality that I'm manifesting is slowly materializing. And yeah, he even thanked me for hearing him out, and I even said something like, "It's okay. All you need to do is just ping me or DM me, and I'll find some time to hear you out. It's completely fine. I'm always here for you." Then he left, and bro, yeah, I reflected back on that conversation for the rest of the day. Like, it was just something so unique. And then I realized something very interesting. I remember that when I was like 14 years old, I was that kind of guy who really wanted to be respected by other men. Because, yeah, the ages of between 13 and like 20 are one of the worst times in a man's life, in my opinion. Not because, like, our quality of our lives is the worst, but because you're basically in the state of being between a child and an adult. It's just that awkward period where you don't get recognized as any of them, and you're stuck in this like vague loop where no one recognizes you as a man or as a child as well. I don't know, but in the past it used to be like the moment that you turned 13 years old, you'd be immediately recognized as an adult. I believe it worked like this in Sparta. But basically, what I'm trying to say by this, there are three things that you, as the young masculine man that you want to become, as the next respected and dominant man in your generation, in your entire bloodline, there are three things that you always must incorporate into any kind of conversation in order for the other person to always respect you and to think of you as a real man. Because these are universal. So you won't bore anyone with them. You'll instead completely enhance that conversation to a whole another level. And these three musts are, coincidentally, the three biggest desires that everyone shares in this world, even women. And these three desires are health, wealth, and relationships. All you need to do is always just sprinkle a little bit value of how someone can get further in these three desires. So, like, I don't know, advice on how to date a woman, for example, how to cold approach her, advice on how, for example, you can win in bowling and impress your friends. I don't know, how to how to find the perfect career for yourself, the perfect online business model, how you can exercise properly, how you can meditate properly, all these good things. Of course, when I say relationships, I don't mean like in a gossipy way, of course. I mean like actually helping the other person to talk to the people around him, tell him how he can be respected more. All these kinds of good things. And I noticed this perfectly with our conversation that happened a couple of days ago with him. We talked about all three of these things, and bro, we had such a respectful conversation. Like, I'm not even joking. So yeah, it's not about talking about stuff like Skibidi Toilet. I know that you may say it like in an ironic tone so that both of you can laugh, but no. Until you don't find any kind of knowledge for these three things, you just won't be respected, and your conversations will just be weak. They and remember this: everything that is dissociated from the ego, any kind of piece of knowledge that doesn't have any kind of name attached to it, any kind of self bias, any kind of self opinion, is the one that is timeless. Those kinds of knowledge will always outlast anything because ego is finite, but knowledge is infinite because knowledge comes from the infinite intelligence, the inner power that resides inside of us that we always go to whenever we need advice for something better. It comes from the infinite source, something that doesn't have a self opinion, something that isn't associated with the things that bring you dopamine inside of your head. when you when you share knowledge that isn't that that doesn't benefit you, that doesn't benefit you in a way that it brings you food into your stomach, that it pays the bills, because if you stop teaching it, for example, it it becomes obsolete. Something that doesn't have a weak foundation, if that makes sense. You understand what I'm trying to say. Just not any strong self-bias, but actual proper knowledge that will work for everyone. These are the kinds of knowledges that you must give to other people through these three big desires, and you will always make your conversation stronger, and you will be respected more. That's how it works. Just always give dissociated knowledge from the ego, the one that is not attached to any kind of self bias, but the one that will always outlast time. The one that when you die will stick around forever because it has truly benefited other people. And don't just take this from me. I'm a person who has helped a lot of people in the past achieve their desired reality, find a purpose in life, and level themselves up in resiliency, discipline, willpower, productivity, and all of these good things. And plus, they've never even seen my Timeless Readers Mindsets, which is a collection of 24 unbreakable mindsets that if you continuously apply them each and every single day to your day-to-day life, they will completely reform your life for the better forever. And I guarantee that they will give you success in any kind of life test. And they will get you out of any hard time. I promise, bro. You truly don't want to miss out on this decision, especially with the discount that is happening over there right now. Thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you